What you're about to see will be very, very evil.
If you've been on the internet long enough, you've probably heard of creepypastas. In case you somehow aren't familiar, let me break it down. The word creepypasta is a combination of the words creepy and copypasta. Copypastas are blocks of text copied and pasted across the internet. So creepypastas are just scary stories made to spread across the web. While internet ghost stories are nothing new, the term creepypasta wasn't coined until around 2007. A year later, a dedicated website specifically for creepypastas was created, and that's when things really started to take off. Over the years, countless creepypastas have been written and shared online. Some are well written, others not so much. Classic creepypasta stories include Slender Man, Jeff the Killer, Eyeless Jack, and The Rake. Eventually, people began writing creepypastas based off existing television shows and video games. I'm not talking about stories like Polybius or Candle Cove, which are stories based on things that only exist in said stories, but familiar franchises like SpongeBob SquarePants and The Legend of Zelda. Tales like Red Mist and Ben Drowned became popular because they took beloved childhood properties and turned them into something evil and fucked up. These kind of creepypastas, along with the classics I mentioned, would rise and fall in popularity over time, but only one has continued to thrive to this very day: Sonic.EXE. Sonic.EXE is a story written by jc-the-hyena and posted onto the Creepypasta Wiki on August 9th of 2011. It stayed on the Creepypasta Wiki until January 14th of 2014, when it was deleted and moved to the Trollpasta Wiki, a site for intentionally bad creepypastas. Honestly, it makes sense if you actually read it, and if you haven't, here's a brief summary. The story follows a guy named Tom, who receives a CDR in the mail from his best friend Kyle, who he hasn't seen in 2 weeks. The disc has Sonic.EXE written on it, along with a note warning him to destroy it before, quote, he comes after you too. Ignoring the warning from his friend who's probably dead, Tom decides to boot up the CD on his computer. The program attached to it seems to be a normal copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 1 for the Sega Genesis, at least until Tom presses the start button. For a split second, an image flashes on the screen. It was Sonic, but with pitch black eyes, blood dripping from them, 2 glowing red pupils, and an unnaturally wide grin. From there, things go downhill fast. Tom plays the 3 levels, each as Tails, Knuckles, and Dr. Robotnik respectively. But each level is filled with blood and gore as this evil Sonic kills them one by one. 2/3 into the game, Tom has to take a break and takes a quick nap. He then has a nightmare filled with the cries of Tails and Knuckles, followed by a close encounter with the demonic Sonic. When he returns to the game, he plays as the last character, Dr. Robotnik. The level itself had a long, dark hallway with many flights of stairs, each flight of stairs making the hallway darker and darker. Suddenly, the evil Sonic appears in front of him, and a burst of red static fills the screen for about 15 seconds. Long enough to make you wonder why a PC game would have static like an old CRT television. Then a horrifying image appeared. A hyper-realistic close-up of the evil Sonic's face with the words "I am God" written on the top of the screen. Static hits the screen once more before one last line of text appears.
Ready for round 2, Tom?
The computer then shuts off, and Tom can't eject the disc. When his PC finally restarts, he hears a faint voice behind him say,
Try to keep this interesting for me, Tom.
When he turns around, he sees a Sonic plushie that wasn't there before, its eyes stained in blood. And that's just my summary of the story. Yeah, the story itself is kinda ass. It's packed with cliches, oddly specific references to other games, and takes itself way too seriously. However, to be fair, I don't think the story alone was the cause of Sonic.EXE's success. No, that honor goes to the fan game created by Mist Crimson on August 13th of 2012. It's the game that I've been showing off while summarizing the story. This game exploded on YouTube, largely thanks to the Let's Play videos by PewDiePie and Markiplier. From there, people made fan art, fan fiction, lots of fan games, and all other sorts of content. And I really do mean content, like look at this shit. Fast forward to 2025, and I'd say the creepypasta is doing pretty well for itself, although I can't say the same thing about its author. To keep things brief, JC is out of the picture for being exposed as a massive piece of shit, and the ownership of Sonic.EXE as a character has been passed around since. Although it doesn't matter now, because there's no longer just one EXE, but many. According to this site, there's around 2,000 of them.
Of course you remember Zeke, Rufus, Jeep, Billy Bob, Billy Jim, Billy, Bo Billy, Banana Fanta, Bo Billy, Doug, Enos, Julio, Fletcher McGee, Rainchild.
At the time I'm recording this video, the latest EXE thing that everybody's talking about is Outcome Memories. It's an online multiplayer horror game where 7 survivors have to escape an executioner of sorts. Right now there's only one executioner, but there are plans to add more in the future along with other characters. To be frank, it looks really solid. Just a damn shame it's on Roblox. It's honestly strange just how much things have changed. So one day out of curiosity, I went back to watch some old videos about Sonic, Sonic.EXE, and jc-the-hyena I used to watch, just to see if any of them held up today. Spoiler alert, a lot of them didn't hold up, like, at all. And when I got to this video, I heard a claim about jc-the-hyena that really stood out to me.
Oh, and one more thing. I own Sonic.EXE now, which that is true. jc-the-hyena gave her all rights to Sonic.EXE. Even though in reality, he only wrote the story, like the idea of an evil Sonic with red pupils and black eyes, like that wasn't come up with by JC. JC only made the weird furry one.
This one-off claim in the video intrigued me to say the least. I always just thought JC created this and accidentally struck gold. But now I'm being made aware that this was already an idea before Sonic.EXE. I mean, of course the plot synopsis isn't anything new. I don't think JC created the idea of haunted video games. But if he didn't come up with an evil Sonic with black and red eyes, then who did? Okay, that's not what I meant. Okay, so I just need to make something very clear before I move on. I'm incredibly stupid. When I started this search, I was under the impression that jc-the-hyena didn't make this infamous screenshot, but rather stole it from somebody else. And then he used that as an inspiration for the story. I mean, that sounded plausible enough. This picture is arguably the only good part of the original creepypasta after all. So the first thing I did was do an easy Google search. Who created the original Sonic.EXE image?
The image you're referring to likely stems from MY5 Crimson's 2012 game, which adapted jc-the-hyena's 2011 creepypasta.
I was already off to a bad start. So right off the bat, Google's AI assumed I was talking about this infamous I Am God artwork, which was used in an earlier version of the video game I mentioned a bit ago. But I already know this artwork was made by someone who went by the name of False Cow. They made this and the art that was used in the Sally.exe game, also by Miss Crimson. So that Google search didn't go anywhere. Who created the original Sonic.exe title screen?
The original Sonic.exe title screen was an edited image of the Sonic the Hedgehog title screen, created by jc-the-hyena in July 2011 as a teaser for his creepypasta, Sonic.exe.
Wait, what?
X's first appearance was in a Pure Affinity journal as a mere edit of the Sonic 1 title screen JC made, which was stated to be a teaser for the creepypasta he was working on. The edit was released on July 24, 2011. The original depiction of the title screen did not feature that many changes. It lacks the sea turning into blood and the decay of Sonic's logo.
Ah, I see. Well, shit. So this is apparently the first official image of Sonic.exe as we know him. And this was made by JC. Allegedly. Well, that doesn't make any sense. I thought this one dude said that JC only made the weird furry version. But this image from about 2 months before the pasta was posted was also made by him. So I went back to that video and realized something. He probably didn't mean the image itself wasn't his. He probably meant the design itself wasn't his. You know, I probably should have deduced that the first time I heard it. So from that point on, I knew I had to change my approach. Instead of asking Google who made what, I just started looking up random shit like Black-Eyed Sonic and Evil Sonic to no avail. Then in desperation, I started adding years to the mix. Evil Sonic 2011, scroll. Evil Sonic 2010, scroll. Black-Eyed Sonic 2009, scroll. And so on and so forth. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any leads or anything of use. I was gonna just give up and find some other thing to make a video about, until I found this. Okay, so I don't know what the hell I'm looking at right now, but that upload date definitely just piqued my interest. This is Sonic vs. Evil Sonic HTF style by Mario Kid 319, posted on July 17th of 2009. This came out around 753 days before Sonic.EXE first dropped. Looking at our Evil Sonic here, I'd say he's pretty close to X design-wise. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, Sonic.EXE just goes by X now. You can't use his dead name anymore. The only differences from what I can tell is that blood isn't coming out of his eyes, the peach part of his color scheme is a little darker, and he has some scratch marks on his chest. Oh, and bro actually knows how to brush his goddamn teeth.
You might want to brush your teeth there, God.
But if you look below, you can see this is related to this, followed by a link. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, clicking on the link brings you a 404 screen, but the original URL is still present, so we could use the Wayback Machine to see what was there. While thankfully there's an archived capture of this page, we aren't able to see the actual artwork. However, we can still get some useful information out of this. Sonic's Evil Escapes! Was posted by Sexy Sky on January 28th of 2009. We're getting even earlier before the creepypasta now. So far it seems Sky is the one responsible for the creature that would become X. So I tried looking up Sexy Sky DeviantArt on Google, but the results weren't anywhere near what I was looking for, Jesus Christ. So back to the Wayback Machine it was. I managed to find an archived capture of Sky's DeviantArt page from January 16th, 2008, but as soon as I went to the gallery, nothing showed up. Going to another archive from July 3rd gave me this screen. All I had to do was click on the old version link and
Flappin' Flotsam, what's that?
okay. As you can see here, Sonic.EXE Evil Sonic Ass CLR was the earliest post regarding this Evil Sonic that I could find. This was posted on May 27th, 2008. Any other links that I clicked on led to an error message, so unfortunately, or fortunately depending on who you ask, we can't see any of this art or search further. But I just really didn't want to end the search with this. So I looked up Sexy Sky on DeviantArt this time instead of Google. I noticed an interesting drawing of Sonic and some other character. Art trade _2 sexy _sky. Damn! I'm guessing this is what Sky's Sonic.OC looks like. Not bad. After contemplating searching further, I felt this was a good time to end the search. It was a really interesting journey, but I felt there was nowhere else to go. But I really liked that artwork, so I decided to go into the artist's page to see more. This is F Sonic, and she... Wait, what is that? Okay, at first I thought this was just some run-of-the-mill Sonic.EXE fan art. I actually remember seeing this art before in one of those old creepypasta reading videos. But to my shock, what lay before my eyes was probably the first ever drawing of a Sonic with pitch black eyes and 2 glowing red pupils. It's hard telling whether or not there's blood coming out of his eyes, but with the blood everywhere else it doesn't matter. I found it. Sonic chained _ into the Dragnes was posted by F Sonic on July 5th, 2007. To test out drawing blood. This was apparently supposed to be Dark Sonic from Sonic.EXE, but I'm guessing it kinda just evolved into this somehow. Oh, and it gets better. Out of curiosity, I decided to scroll down and skim through the comments, just to briefly enter a world before JC posted Sonic.EXE. But, as fate would have it, speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Not only do we have possibly the earliest drawing with a black and red-eyed Sonic, but we also have confirmation that jc-the-hyena saw it. Almost a year before that first teaser, might I add. So now, I think we have everything we need to make a cohesive timeline. Hey, wait a minute. Okay, so the image normally doesn't look like this. I don't know why all the blood looks so pixelated all of a sudden. What the fuck?!
I can tell you why the blood looks so pixelated.
How'd you get in here?
Oh, I just found my window of opportunity. Regardless, I'm the source of them, and there's a good reason that those pixels are there and should stay there.
Holy fuck!
You see, there's this fun little trend in fandoms, particularly ones like the Sonic the Hedgehog fandom, called fetish content. It's been around forever though, so it's not a trend, and there's a whole internet rule about it. Rule 34. Of course, the internet doesn't really strictly abide by any rules, but this one is definitely the most pervasive in a lot of online spaces. Under those pixels isn't just blood, it's someone's or multiple people's potential kids. And there's a lot on him. And what's more, the artist later redrew this image in 2024, and it's just more apparent there. Side note, their technical improvements since then are really impressive, and as an artist myself, I am kind of jealous. But between the way he's posing, his lack of any sort of clothing really, the viscosity of the liquids on him, and the lighting hitting it, there's no doubt in my mind that the next Einstein was potentially wasted on this hedgehog's body. Now, this isn't to condemn this type of art in any way, by the by. It's just to make a note of it in case one of you decides to go looking for it at all. I gotta go replace that window now.
Okay, so I don't know how he found my address, how he knew what I was talking about, or if anything he said was legit. But I guess what he said, like, kinda makes sense. Yeah. Let's just wrap it up. So in summary, F-Sonic in 2007 made the first artwork of a black and red-eyed bloody Sonic. Then, Sexy Sky made a character called Evil Sonic inspired by F-Sonic's art and started making shipping art with him in mid-2008. After that, Mario Kid 319 would make Sonic vs. Evil Sonic HTF style a year later. In 2010, jc-the-hyena sees F-Sonic's art and says that he made a similar character. And finally, after posting this teaser a few months prior, JC finished writing Sonic.EXE and posted it to the creepypasta wiki on August 9th, 2011. You know, the funniest part is that the answer was actually staring at me in the face this whole time. When I found the Evil Sonic HTR image, I also saw this picture with a timeline of other Evil Sonics before X. It even includes ones I didn't even mention, like the Cyborg Sonic glitch in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, this one Sonic video made in 2010, El Pendrive Azul, which is also known as the Blue Pendrive, and this other Sonic that was a part of a creepypasta based off Super Smash Bros. Brawl. The only real noteworthy thing out of these three is that El Pendrive Azul's plot is very similar to Sonic.EXE, and it apparently came out 4 months before that teaser. But whether or not jc-the-hyena plagiarized both this and F-Sonic's Dark Sonic design is up to interpretation. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because the appeal of X isn't the shitty writing from the story he comes from, but the idea of an evil and bloody Sonic that kills people. Like, it really is just him. His face alone is what gives all these content creators loads of money. I just figured it'd be really interesting to see if there's more to this design's origins than I initially thought. To be fair, a lot of what I found was discovered by other people long before me, but this whole journey really made me reconsider my thoughts on X. In my opinion, we should consider F-Sonic to be the true creator of Sonic.EXE. Not necessarily the story, I mean X, the character. And I say this for 2 reasons. First is that it's possible that JC just copied this design and took all the credit, and second, out of these 2 people, one of them isn't a fucking pedophile. I might be sounding disrespectful right now, but JC is genuinely a massive piece of shit, so I really don't feel bad about shitting on him. Before I end this, I just want to ask anybody watching to please don't go out and harass anyone I mentioned in this video. While I do find some of the shit I saw questionable, I don't think bringing up ass old posts on the internet will do anything good. And despite what I said earlier, I highly doubt that F-Sonic even wants to be associated with X more than she already has. Like, this old post from 2007 ended up being so popular years later that it's one of the first things you see on her page now. I could probably bet that she liked the positive press, but even I wouldn't want only this to be my legacy. Whew, I'd say that's enough Sonic stuff for, I'd say, the rest of the year. I'm JustADreemurr, and if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, comment down your thoughts below, and share it around with some of your friends. Also, if you could subscribe to the channel and set notifications to all, I'd really appreciate that. Now, if you excuse me, I have an invader to talk to. Peace.